my background, I spent many years working in mental health, literally seeing no changes in people. In this world of training, I get to influence people's behavior in a much more positive light, where I can actually see the change. People are able to empower themselves. Once somebody's able to empower themselves a little bit, you can really see that the positive influence it's given. Again, much more than my life as a therapist. I get way better results doing this. Best piece of equipment in the gym is the human body. Just using your own body weight, you can do phenomenal things with. I like, in my training, I do functional training, which means it's preparing you for everyday life. So just using your own body weight, you can do pretty much any exercise available. Failure is in my own personal life if I start feeling too much frustration, a little bit of anxiety, some anger. I mean, living in the city of 1.8 million people, it's hard not to feel some frustration when moving around. When I start to deal with that frustration, I feel like it's a failure on my part because I know better. Again, being a counselor for many, many years, I know people's behaviors, I know how to deal with it. I know working on myself, I've had to work through a lot of issues like that. So I think that would be it more than any. We all have to live together. Think about other people. Don't become so self-absorbed in your own little world. It drives me insane when I'm walking down the streets here and I see people on their phone, not looking up, just walking into others. It's just, again, this is a small little island as the world is. Think about how you would like to be treated and treat others. I can be pretty OCD. It could be a whole lot of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. A lot of times when I leave my house, I have to check those locks 3 or 4 times. I am very rigid in my, as my wife calls, my ablutions, my everyday behaviors. I tend to not vary from them. I can be extremely rigid. It's again another thing to try to break out of. TKO, healing the world one person at a time. You know, the true spiritual, if not even spiritual, the educational. I read a lot of the Talmuds, which goes back to the ancient rabbis and their interpretations, and I think that influences me more than any. Honestly, the best investment I ever made was in myself, in this business we're in. My education, my continuing education, all of the classes I've taken has been extremely well spent, not only for others, but for myself. Just because you can train yourself means absolutely nothing. Can become very involved. My advice would be to get the best education you can. You must have a national certification. Once you go through that national certification, begin to seek other certifications. More knowledge. You know, it's one thing you see these guys in the gym, these huge guys lifting, that's great. And they'll always say, well, I could be a personal trainer, look at me. No, train somebody who has arthritis in 1 or 2 hips, a bad back, several bulging discs, numerous other problems. The more knowledge you have, the better able you're dealing with. The general population, very few people out there are healthy. None of us are. We have to work at it. So knowledge. I can tell you exactly that personal training, and I will not mention the gym that I occasionally go to, and I've actually watched trainers texting on their phone their entire session. Drives me insane. If I even see a phone coming out, when I used to train trainers, immediately fired, they're gone. That while you're training, that hour is all about the person you're with, there to get your undivided attention. People that drift off, again, get on the phone, start talking about any engaging other than your client is extremely bad behaviors. And obviously putting people at risk. Excellent training is, again, being very engaged. The best thing I can have is when a person trains with me for an hour and says, wow, that was a really fast hour. I can't believe it went by so suddenly. That to me is a good session, making it fun. People have to want to come in to see you. If people start coming into dreading to see you, you're doing something wrong. Actually can happen a lot. Sometimes I can get ADD going. So I just have to really stop, calm myself, center myself, focus on Zen Buddhism, here and now, trying to stay in the exact moment. And every now and then, I've been married for 26 years, so I can lose my focus and kind of drift off. So I remind myself to be present, to be here now, listening, watching, observing. I've actually become better at saying no to a lot of work-related situations, taking on more than I think I can really handle. My wife owns a corporation. I run that corporation along with training. I take a lot of household duties and all of that, so I've actually been able to say no, especially to some of the employees that we have. Kind of better at setting limits to give myself a little bit better time management. Bad recommendations I hear, which I do hear a lot of them is diet related. Personal trainers really shouldn't be getting involved too much in diet and nutrition. A lot of supplements, people encouraging supplements, never a good idea if you don't know anybody. Say creatine. Creatine is a great substance. All Olympic athletes take it. It's a wonderful supplement. But if somebody has high blood pressure, it's going to add 10 pounds of body weight. Therefore, it's going to increase their blood pressure. So without really having a full understanding of somebody's ability and somebody's health issues, any kind of recommendation is not a great idea. The best recommendation is see your doctor, see your nutritionist. The best advice I think I could give them is you may be extremely intelligent, you may have learned a whole lot, but now you're going into a working world where you may know nothing. Swallow your pride, don't become too arrogant, listen to others, learn. There's nobody out there who knows everything. Each and every day, if you listen to others, you're going to learn something. So put the arrogance aside. A lot of times with more knowledge, we become more arrogant, so to speak. We tend to think we know a whole lot more. I've learned the more I know, the less I know. I know nothing at my own age now. That's what I've learned. So just be humble. Criticisms, don't ignore them, but don't take them very personal. A lot of times in a new job, you're being critiqued. A lot of people will get just so uptight about that and so angry. I'm not saying to ignore it, but again, going into your own self-perspective, ignore your own arrogance and just be humble and accept it. No, actually, as I've said, I've mentioned many times, my clients know this, I've been a therapist for over 30 years. I've been a personal trainer for over 35 years. I enjoy personal training way more than I've ever enjoyed being a therapist. I actually see results. I actually see people getting better and healthier. And for myself, I am actually retired. I'm getting my pension, I'm getting Social Security. I still love being a trainer. I absolutely love it every day.